Nate, I'm sorry, but I can't do this anymore.
Huh? What's wrong?
I'm breaking up with you.
What? Oh, hold on. What is this all of a sudden?
I just can't handle being with you anymore.
Hillary, please calm down and tell me what's going on. Why can't you handle being with me anymore?
Seriously, Nate, come on. Are you actually going to pretend like you don't know?
I don't have to pretend because I legitimately have no idea what brought this on all of a sudden. If it was something I did or said, then I'm sorry and want to do better, so please, let's talk about this, okay? What happened to make you feel this way?
Oh my god, there's no point in me even telling you. It's not like it's something you can actually do better about.
You're still not making any sense. What is it? What's wrong?
It's your family, Nate.
My family?
If your family is really okay with living in that complete dumpster fire of a house, then that gives me serious doubts about trying to build a future together with you.
What? What do you mean dumpster fire? We do have one house that's about 50 years old, but we've been taking pretty good care of it. It's not like we've completely abandoned it. We do regular inspections, monthly cleanings, lawn mowing, and all that sort of thing. So I don't really think it's fair to call it a dumpster fire.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. You don't even have the self-awareness to see that your house is disgusting. How can you bear to live like that? I can't build a future with someone from a family like yours, so I'm breaking up with you.
Hillary, I think you're under a big misunderstanding. Look, this is not a conversation that we can have by text. Let's meet up and talk, okay?
Not a chance. I am never talking to you again for as long as I live. If we should ever meet on campus or in town, I'm just going to ignore you and pretend that I don't know you, so you do the same. Got it? Goodbye. Hey, Nate. Long time no see. How are things? It's me, Hillary, remember? I just saw you on TV and oh my god, I couldn't believe my eyes. You're the biggest rags to riches story I've ever seen. You grew up in that rundown old house and now you're filthy rich living in a huge mansion. They should make a movie about you. Anyway, let's meet and catch up. I'm in the mood for French, I think. I've never tried caviar. Do you know any good places? Oh, and then maybe we can go shopping for a new handbag for me?
Hey, Nat, you got a minute? Wow, great timing, Sean. I was just about to send you a message. Let me take a stab in the dark. It's about Hillary? Yeah, she randomly texted me out the blue this afternoon and started blowing up my phone with texts and calls, none of which I answered, obviously. But it seems like she wants to get back together with me. Do you know anything about this, Sean? Oh yeah, that psycho chick has been going through every single one of our old college friends trying to find out as much information about you as she can. What the? Why now? What do you think? That oblivious moron somehow got the idea in her head that you were dirt poor. And now that she knows you're rich, she wants to get back together. You've got to be kidding me. It's been 7 years. Yeah, well, with Hillary, the only thing that matters in a guy is how many zeros are in his bank account balance. Apparently she's looking to settle down with a rich guy to take care of her, so she's been frequenting all the upper-class hangouts where the young entrepreneurs go. And I guess she figures that since the two of you have an established history together, maybe she has a chance to get back together with you. Not a chance in hell. Yeah, that's what I thought you'd say. Oh, but anyways, everyone knows what the circumstance of your breakup were, as well as the fact that nothing good can come out of getting involved with Hillary and all her schemes, so they just all left her on red. Well, that's a relief. For now, I think I'll just keep on ignoring her like I have been. That's probably for the best. So, yeah, I'll just ignore the messages and calls for a while, monitor the situation. If you hear any new information, let me know as soon as possible, okay? You got it, bro.
Hey, Nate. So I was thinking about our date. I don't think we really decided on when we would meet up yet, right? I just remembered what you were saying during your TV interview. You took over your dad's company and started instituting a bunch of quality of life improvements for your employees, right? Like adding remote work options, more flexible hours, that sort of thing. So it sounds like you're probably at home a lot of the time. That means we'll have tons of time to see each other. Awesome. So, tomorrow, I went ahead and made a reservation at that fancy new French restaurant downtown in your name for 12 noon tomorrow. I'll see you at the restaurant. Hey, Nate. Have you left your house yet? This is kind of our first date in 7 years, and you're running late? Like, really, Nate? I'm gonna head into the restaurant. Text me when you get here, got it? What is your problem, Nate? Where are you? Standing me up on our first date in 7 years? What kind of man are you? I expected you were going to pay the bill for dinner, so I didn't bring my wallet. What am I supposed to do now? Hurry up and get down here to pay the check. If you're going to be my husband, you're going to have to prove to me that I can rely on you, understand? Hey, wait a minute. Are you ignoring my messages? They aren't getting marked as read.
Hey, Sean, this is getting out of hand fast. Yeah, I heard. Did she seriously book a reservation in your name, expecting you to pay for her lunch? She's been blowing up my phone for 3 days. Yesterday, she made up plans for a date with me at some fancy French restaurant, and then, just like you said, actually made a reservation in my name in a place that cost at least $100 a plate. And then she went to the place, declared that I would be paying for the meal, and get this, then she starts telling me that we're getting married. Eesh, what a nut job. You're telling me. Did you hear anything else about that? Yeah. A friend of mine actually works at the restaurant she went to, and according to him, when the manager told her to pay her bill or he'd call the police, she started crying her eyes out, and then just called her parents and they paid the bill. Good God, what is wrong with her? She was name-dropping you big time, saying that you'd be very unhappy with the way she had been treated. I think it's safe to say she'll try using the same tactic again, so be on the lookout. You might want to put the word out, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I'll be making some moves on that front soon. Thanks for letting me know.
Hey, Nate. So my parents kicked me out of their house last night, and since I have no place to go, I'll go ahead and move into your huge mansion so we can be together all the time. I'm getting on a bus right now. I'll see you soon. Oh, that's right. The city courthouse is on the way, so I'll go ahead and submit our marriage certificate since I'll be in the area anyway.
Whoa, hold on.
Nate? Nate, is that you? You finally answered me.
Yeah, because I had to stop you before you go doing something really stupid.
What do you mean? Anyway, like I said, I'll be over there soon, sweetie. I can't wait to start our new life together. I'm the luckiest girl in the world to have a husband like you.
I've been married for 3 years, Hillary.
What?
Which you would have found out anyway if you actually went to the courthouse, but I figured I'd save you a pointless trip.
You're not fooling me. I've been asking tons of people about you, and no one said anything about you having a wife.
Yeah, no one said anything to you, period, because they were all in agreement that they wouldn't tell you anything about me.
What do you mean?
Don't you remember? After you dumped me, you went around to everyone telling them that I'm a poor loser living in a broken-down old house. Don't tell me you didn't notice how they reacted to that.
You're making zero sense. When I broke up with you, you were a poor loser living in a broken-down old house. I was just telling the truth. What's wrong with that? You didn't even have the self-awareness to realize your house was so trashy. You were completely low class. Were you trying to forget your childhood trauma by pretending you actually lived in the big fancy house next door?
Wait a minute. A dumpy house next door to a nicer house.
Yeah. Seriously, how could you be satisfied with such a low standard of living while looking out of your window at what a real house looks like? At least you seem to have come to your senses now.
Let me confirm something. Is this house you're talking about on Millwood Drive? Blue siding, 2-story, big walnut tree in the side yard?
Yeah, pretty sure that's the one. I don't know what a walnut tree looks like, but it definitely was 2 stories and had blue siding. Now that you mention it, they put a picture of it up during your interview on TV the other day. Yeah, that's definitely the one. And you got so rich that you were able to buy that big mansion next door, right? I guess me breaking up with you gave you the drive you needed to finally make something of yourself. You're welcome. And now you're finally getting the biggest reward of all, me as your wife.
I didn't buy that house.
What?
It was already mine. I grew up in that house from the moment I was born.
Huh?
When I took over my dad's company 2 years ago, he put that house and all the rest of our property in my name too. That house next door, the one that you said was old, run down, a dumpster fire, and that sort of thing. That was the house my dad's pets lived in.
His pets?
Yeah, he's always had a thing for reptiles. He has a ton of them. Chameleons, geckos, lizards, you name it. My mom, however, can't stand the sight of them. So he brought the roughly 50-year-old abandoned house next door and transformed it into a sort of private zoo where he keeps all his reptiles. Might look a bit old from the outside, but he renovated the entire interior when he bought it, so it's pretty nice in there now. He also changed it so the main entrance is on the back side of the house, so it's easier to get there from our property.
Oh, wait, so that's why I saw you going in that house all the time?
Yeah. Back when we were dating, my dad got a bit of a nasty flu that put him in the hospital for a while, and I was the one who took care of his pets while he was away. I'd stop in there first after my classes were finished, feed the pets, clean what needed to be cleaned, and then go home. That's why I would always go in there.
Oh, okay.
It's strange that you knew about me going in there, though, since I never invited you over to our house. Don't tell me you were following me.
Well, I mean, I was your girlfriend, and you never invited me over to see your house? That's weird, isn't it? I figured maybe you were hiding something from me. Then, well, I saw you going into that old house, and, you know...
Hillary, we were only dating for 2 months. We had this conversation at the time, too. I told you that I wanted to get to know you better before I took you to meet my parents. I didn't want to feel like I was being rushed into our relationship.
Well, thanks for telling me about how you felt. Wow, it feels really good to have such a deep conversation with you. And now that we've finally reconnected, I am more hopeful than ever about our future together.
What relationship?
Our marriage, silly. I'm at the courthouse right now. I'm gonna go submit our marriage certificate.
Were you listening at all? I told you I'm married.
What?
Did you seriously ignore the single most important part of this conversation?
I guess it must have slipped past me.
That's no excuse. You said you watched my TV interview, right? Did you also happen to miss the portion of that interview where they interviewed my wife?
That's who that was? I thought she was your maid.
You must have had cotton balls in your ears too, because the segment where we talked about how we met and our honeymoon was a full 5 minutes.
So, it's true? You're really married?
So like I was saying, don't waste your time. Even if you try to submit it, they won't accept it. Got it?
But...
And this is where I exit this conversation.
Hey!
I made the mistake of not blocking you when we broke up 7 years ago, but I'll be remedying that in short order.
Nate, stop, please. Didn't you hear me? My parents kicked me out of their house. I don't have anywhere else to go. You have to help me.
No, I don't have to help you. You're an adult. Figure it out for yourself.
Nate, please, let me live with you. How can you do this to me?
I was concerned for a while that Hillary might try to storm into my house, regardless of my warnings. But her parents had realized that she was about to do something stupid again, and they caught up with her and dragged her back home. Apparently, they had set a condition for paying the very expensive bill at the restaurant the other day. That she would get married to a friend of her father's, who happens to be in his 50s. She tried to back out of it after they had already paid the bill, but they told her that if she didn't go through with her end of the bargain, they'd disown her and kick her out to the curb. It was at that point that she came up with her master plan of getting married to me. Too bad for her, I was already married. That day, Hillary actually did turn in a marriage certificate to the courthouse and it was accepted. Why is that, you may ask? Well, Hillary had forged my name onto a marriage certificate, thinking that once it was accepted, there wouldn't be anything I could do. However, her parents caught on to the plan. While she was out, they took the marriage certificate she had signed and forged my signature on, then swapped it out for one with her name and the man they wanted her to marry. What a big-time backfire.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Robert, can I come over to your place today?
Hey, Arya. Sure. It's my day off tomorrow. You want to stay the night?
Ooh, sure thing. I'll head over after I bought some things for tonight's supper and breakfast in the morning. I just have a few things to take care of here, then I'll be on my way. See you later.
By the way, Arya, I've been thinking of asking you this for a while now.
What?
How would you feel about us living together?
Huh?
We've been dating for a whole 3 years now. We stay over at each other's houses at least 3 times a week. Seems like a waste of money to be paying rent and utilities for 2 apartments that are empty half the time. I thought it seemed like all the more reason for us to finally move in together.
You want us to live together? Do you mean at my place or yours?
No, if we did, I think it'd make more sense to rent a new apartment together. Or something someplace close to both of our jobs. Moving is definitely an option. What do you think about us living together, Arya?
If you want us to live together, does that mean you're also thinking about what comes next?
By what comes next, do you mean marriage?
Yes, marriage. You're 26, but I'm already 29. If you want us to live together at this stage, I kinda got the impression you might be thinking about us getting married one day too.
Of course I'd like us to get married one day. Or rather, I already had marriage in mind at the point I asked you out. If we move in together and everything goes well, will you marry me? Never really intended to propose to you during a conversation like this, but I guess that is kind of what I'm doing.
Marrying you. Well, I'm not opposed to the idea of marriage, but what's your salary?
Huh?
What's your salary? How much money do you make in a year? Just a rough figure is fine.
My salary? It's about $45,000 a year right now. If I was to say what I actually take home after taxes and whatnot, it's probably somewhere just below 40K.
What? It's that low?
Huh? Is that low?
It's even lower than I imagined. There's this guy. He used to be in my class at school. He makes 60K. He works for an elite company. They're super prestigious.
Well, I guess it differs depending on where you work, but isn't salary determined in large part by how long you've worked for a certain company? I only graduated university 4 years ago. Cut me some slack.
Maybe so, but 45,000 is still far too low. If you want me to live with you and even my hand in marriage one day, you should be making at least 75,000. We won't be able to get by on such a low income.
I really don't think it's low enough to be classified as low income. We wouldn't struggle to get by either. Plus, I think it'll go up gradually in the future. The longer I'm with the company, the more I'll earn.
Not the future. I need to make more money now. There's no way I can marry someone who takes home less than 40,000 a year. If you really want to marry me, won't you think about changing jobs to somewhere you can make over 75K a year?
Changing jobs? Are you serious? There's no way I can do that. Besides, I can't just waltz into some new company and expect them to put me on 75K a year right off the bat.
You'll find somewhere that pays generously if you look. You're just not trying hard enough. Surely, if it's not that much, if you mean it when you say you want to marry me?
What even is this? Is money the only thing you care about? I'd want to marry you even if you were penniless, because it's you I like and not your bank account. Is money the most important thing to you? Was all that time we spent together until now meaningless? All the time we spent whispering sweet nothings into each other's ears a lie?
Come on, Robert. It's not like I'm saying I hate you or anything. But things like living together and getting married cost money. If we went ahead with everything on our current salary, I'd have constant anxiety. I'll be turning 30 soon, and my biological clock's ticking. I won't be able to have kids forever, you know. So if you want to get married straight away, I can't do it unless you make over 75K.
Even so, switching jobs and doubling my salary isn't something I can do at the drop of a hat. You need to be more realistic about this. It's not like I don't have circumstances of my own to consider.
So basically what you're saying is that you don't really want to marry me at all? Is the thought of working a little harder and making more money to provide for me really that awful to you?
Is this all I was to you all along? Why would you even say that? I had no idea you were like this, Arya. You're totally obsessed with money. Be honest, I feel I'm finally seeing your true colors.
No, I'm the one who's seeing your true colors. I thought you'd be making way more than you are because of work from a prestigious company. I just wasted 2 years of my life. It's over, Robert. I'm breaking up with you.
We're after my money this whole time. Fine. I think it's for the best. I have no interest in being with a woman who suddenly starts asking about my salary as soon as the question of marriage is on the table.
Well, I have no interest in being with a worthless broker like you either. Don't even come near me again. If I even so much as see your face after this, I'll report you to the police for stalking. Goodbye. Hey, Robert. Long time no see.
Huh? Who's this?
Don't be silly. It's me, Arya. Surely you didn't forget your ex-girlfriend.
Oh, Arya. I didn't realize who you were for a moment. Why are you messaging me after all this time?
No reason at all, really. I was wondering if you had a new girlfriend yet, though.
That's none of your business.
Oh, me? Well, since you ask, I got a new boyfriend last year. He's in his 50s, so he may be a bit of a grandpa, but he earns over 60K a year. I'm over 30 myself now, so I did lower my standards a little bit from the 75K a year high roller I originally had in my sights on. But he still earns way more than you. In fact, you're so incomparable, it's kind of tragic.
Oh, cool. Pleased to hear it.
Let's face it, only guys raking in serious money were ever gonna have a shot at dating a girl like me. Me and you were a mismatch right from day one.
Yeah. That's great.
You probably haven't managed to get a single girlfriend since we broke up, right, Robert? I could tell you why that is if you like. It's because you're satisfied with a pitiful low salary. How do you expect to be able to bag yourself a decent woman with such a lazy attitude towards life? If you want to have a shot at marrying a princess like me, I suggest you work harder and start bringing more money in.
My current salary is 92K a year.
Huh?
You still seem to think I'm only making 40K, but my current salary is 92K a year. I did tell you before that my salary would go up in time.
What? Are you joking? There's no way you're on 92K. You're lying. How the hell did you end up making that much?
I'm happy for you to think I'm lying if it makes you feel better. But if you want to know how I make this much, first, I quit the company I was at when we dated, so I could start helping my parents out with the family business.
Your parents? The family business? I didn't know your family ran a business. What is it?
Didn't I tell you? My family runs Jinko Heavy Industries. Have you heard of it?
Jincho Heavy Industries? Have I heard of it? Is there anyone who hasn't? They're a major global company famous across the world. Wait, hold on a sec. No way. Are you saying you're the son of the CEO of Jincho Heavy Industries?
It's kind of embarrassing to call myself the son of the CEO, but yeah, I guess I am. I quit my old company 4 years back, a year after we broke up. I started working at Jinko Heavy Industries immediately. I'm currently working with my dad, who, like you said, is the current CEO, so I can learn everything I need to take over the business one day. That said, I am still doing actual work, and I'm already bringing in some decent results myself.
Why didn't you just get a job at a family business in the first place? You would have made even more money by now if you did that.
The company rule is that the successor has to undergo a few years of training at a company in the same line of business. Then there was also the benefit of forging connections within the industry. My dad wanted me to learn about the industry, society, and the world at large by working at a separate company where I wouldn't receive special treatment for being his son. I got into the last company entirely off my own back.
But why didn't you tell me any of this 5 years ago when we broke up? The ring would have been on my finger before you even had time to blink.
I hadn't been formally appointed as a successor by that point, and things still weren't set in stone. Anyway, what kind of guy goes blurting out, "Hey, sweet cheeks, I'll be a CEO one day, to his girlfriend. I'd hesitate to tell people even now, because it's still early days and I still have a lot to learn.
I see, so that's why. Okay, you passed.
What?
You passed my test. You're finally worthy of my hand in marriage. I always had absolute faith in you, Robert. I'm so proud of you. Okay, I'm ready for you to pop the question now. Go ahead as soon as you're ready. Don't be shy, honey. Here's a little hint. It's gonna be a yes.
What? Are you insane? I have no intention of marrying you.
What? Why? It's okay, Robert. You don't have to hold back with me. You worked so hard all these years so you could marry me. I have so much admiration for you. Your reward is awaiting. All you have to do is pop the question, sweetie.
I'm not holding back at all. I genuinely don't want to marry you. It's not like I did any of this so I could marry you either. I have no interest of being with the kind of girl whose attitude changes in an instant when she finds out how much money a guy earns or what his position with a company is. You're the most shallow person I've ever met.
What? What do you mean I'm shallow? Aren't you the one who wanted to marry me? You're the one who asked me to marry you in the first place.
That was 5 years ago. But I seem to have a faint recollection of you turning me down based on my salary. Oh, that's right! My money was more important to you than the time we spent together or the memories we created together. Being proposed to by someone who looked down their nose at me like that doesn't make me feel glad for even 1 second. In fact, it disgusts me. I think you're nothing but a nuisance.
But I told you, I didn't know you were going places back then. I might have said a couple of things that sounded a little harsh, but I want you to know, sweetie, it was only because I wanted you to succeed. Anyway, it's not like you have a girlfriend now, right? Just marry me, honey. You know it's the right thing to do. You'll never regret it.
I most definitely, unequivocally, absolutely, beyond any shadow of a doubt, will not be marrying you. Besides, I couldn't even if I wanted to. I've been married for 2 years now.
Huh? You got married?
We're having a baby in April next year. Our second, in fact.
What? No, this can't be. You can't marry anyone but me. I won't accept it.
I can, and I did. She's the same age as me, and she values me for who I am, my personality, and not how fat my wallet is. She's cute, she's kind, she really is the perfect woman.
That counts as cheating on me. You do realize that? Do you have any idea on how long I waited for you to achieve your potential so we could finally be happy together? To think you just tossed me by the wayside and marry some cheap floozy!
Give me a break. You weren't waiting. Didn't you just say you were dating a guy on $60K a year?
Oh, forget about him. I'll break up with that old man straight away. So please, will you marry me? You definitely won't regret it.
Actually, I think marrying you would leave me with nothing but regrets. Anyway, it's not happening, so just give up. Me and you were a mismatch from day one after all.
I've been tricked. You're the worst. If I knew things would turn out this way, I would have just married you when you asked. Why is this happening to me?
Think of it as a lesson learned. The biggest fish is always the one that gets away. See ya! I immediately blocked Arya from sending me further messages. She was so desperate to talk to me that she went as far as showing up outside the company offices. She was in such a frenzy that she climbed over the security gate while screaming, "I'm Robert's fiancé!" The security guard's efforts to calm her down proving futile. The police were called, and she was arrested in the act of criminal damage and trespassing. Even while being dragged away in handcuffs, she defiantly screamed things like, "I'm the next CEO's fiancé!" and "My man's going places!" But since I'd already explained the situation with Arya to my parents, wife, co-workers, and friends beforehand, no one believed a word she had to say. Ultimately, she ended up promising never to come near me again, and the episode drew to a close with me receiving a tidy sum in fines and compensation. Arya's boyfriend dumped her when she got arrested, and her friends began keeping their distance, leaving her isolated and alone. This whole affair made me realize how foolish it is to focus only on what's right in front of you with no thought for the future. I learned some important life lessons myself.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.